In a world of swords, magic, and noble intrigue, Alicia Ainlight arrives at the prestigious Royal Academy, the only commoner admitted this year. Bright-eyed and eager, she helps a sick traveler on the street, not knowing that her kindness would make her late for check-in. As the clock strikes 6, the academy gates slam shut. Rules are rules. A snobby student on gate duty refuses to let her in, but hints at a crumbling section of the eastern wall. Alicia takes the risk. That's where she meets two boys who help her climb in. William, a strong and kind swordsman, and Edwin, the charming second prince. They fall right through a roof and land on top of another student. And just like that, chaos begins. At the entrance ceremony the next day, Alicia is scolded for breaking curfew, but despite her blunders, the principal reveals she's a rare light magic user, a big deal in this world. As punishment, Alicia and William are assigned extra duties together. But this isn't Alicia's story. In the shadows, watching from afar, stands Yumiella Dulkness, a quiet girl with black hair and cold eyes. The other students avoid her. Some whisper about curses, but no one knows the truth. Yumiella is no ordinary student. She's a college girl who died in our world and reincarnated into this otome RPG as the hidden boss. In the game, she's a villain who bullies Alicia and appears after the demon lord is defeated. Stronger than anyone, terrifying and cruel. But Yumiella doesn't want any of that. She just wants peace. So she avoids the main story, stays far away from the heroine, and trains quietly in the forest. Except, her gamer instincts kick in. She can't resist grinding levels. By the time the school year begins, Yumiella isn't just strong. She's reached level 99. At the level checking ceremony, the room goes silent. Alicia is level 1. The noble boys range between 5 and 10. Then, they announce her name. Yumiella Dulkness, level 99. The students gasp. The teachers are speechless. She wanted to stay under the radar. But now, everyone thinks she's the demon lord. And her quiet life, it's officially over. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps out. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this wild anime. Gasps echoed through the Royal Academy as Yumiella's level was revealed. Not 10, not 20, but 99, the highest anyone's ever seen. At first, they thought it was a mistake. They even brought out a backup tool, but the results stayed the same. Level 99. Rumors sparked instantly. Some accused her of cheating. Others demanded proof. But Yumiella just stood there, calm and quietly planning her escape from society. Worst case, she'd just move to the countryside and live off monster drops. Meanwhile, the real protagonist, Alicia, kept a low profile. But Yumiella? She'd already stolen the spotlight. Later, at the welcome party, the judgment came in waves. Edwin, William, and Oswald, the three elite boys of the academy, confronted her. William, especially, was furious. He'd worked his whole life to reach level 10. And here comes this girl with no connections, no reputation, just overwhelming power. But Yumiella didn't argue. She just said, "You'll see soon enough." The next day, in class, she was completely isolated. Whispers followed her every move, but she didn't care. At least now she had peace. Then came the combat assessment. William stepped up, full of pride and anger, challenging her to a duel. He charged with everything he had, and was down in one hit. Yumiella had held back, a lot, but even that was too much. Students stared, stunned. The teacher didn't even know how to respond. And William, he was carried off the field in a daze. After that came magic class. Oswald showed off his 4-element mastery. Then it was Yumiella's turn. She calmly asked, "Is it okay if I break the target?" They laughed. Then she cast Dark Flame. The unbreakable target melted like butter. Oswald's pride cracked, but that wasn't even her strongest spell. That came later, when Prince Edwin, clearly threatened, tried to expel her. With the principal watching, Yumiella launched her ultimate spell into the sky, Black Hole, a terrifying display of magic that erased everything in its path. The sun disappeared. The world held its breath, and then, silence. Yumiella smiled softly. "Are you convinced I'm level 99 now?" The hidden boss had just entered the game. After casting a black hole above the academy, Yumiella finds herself summoned to the royal castle. Most nobles whisper in fear, still shaken by her display. But before she can brace for punishment, something shocking happens. The king apologizes. He bows his head, admitting the academy and his own son were wrong to judge her. But trust isn't earned so easily. The king asks the kingdom's strongest knight, Captain Adolf, to test her strength. With a calm smile, Yumiella dodges his powerful attack like she's swatting a fly. Everyone's stunned, especially Adolf, who declares her level 99 status as genuine. Then comes a display of magic. Yumiella casts Shadow Lance, and the palace mage confirms. It's dark magic, rare but not inherently evil. The king even muses that maybe people fear what they don't understand, like black hair. He praises her strength and asks how she reached such a high level. Yumiella casually drops a bomb. She soloed a dungeon, used a monster calling flute, and skipped protection charms. The whole room gasps. Most would die doing that. But to her, it was just grinding. Impressed, the king offers anything, a title, land, even marriage into the royal family. But Yumiella, ever cautious, only asks for peace. Internally, she's already planning her escape route in case things go south. Later, the queen invites her to a private audience. In a hushed room, the queen drops a chilling truth. The demon lord will return in 2 years. They want Yumiella's help, but discreetly. The royal family needs to be the one who defeats him, for the sake of their legitimacy. That's why they've been gathering elite students like Alicia and Prince Edwin. Yumiella agrees to help, but makes it clear she's not interested in marrying Edwin. The queen warns her to steer clear of political factions, especially the anti-king faction led by Duke Hilrose, where, unfortunately, Yumiella's parents belong. After returning to school, everything changes. Her classmates start treating her with respect. Boys from noble houses swarm her with marriage proposals, most of them ridiculous. One noble wants to conquer the continent. Another thinks she's just muscle. Yumiella shuts them down with her new favorite line, "I only like people stronger than me." Then comes the real challenge. Eleonora Hilrose, Queen Bee of the Academy and daughter of the anti-king faction's leader. She invites Yumiella to tea and demands she stay away from Prince Edwin. Yumiella calmly agrees, and even suggests Eleonora is more suited for him. Flattered, Eleonora drops her guard. But just as Yumiella thinks she can finally relax, a student leans in and asks the ultimate question. "Miss Yumiella, are you the demon lord?" Just as Yumiella starts feeling a little more accepted at school, a bombshell drops. "Are you the demon lord?" Alicia blurts out, eyes wide. "Wait, what?" Yumiella freezes. "The demon lord? Just because she has black hair and dark magic?" She laughs it off, sort of. Did Prince Edwin say that? Apparently not. But Alicia heard something about the demon lord's return. From Edition. Ed? Yumiella mentally twitches. Nicknames already? It's been a week. The situation spirals when Edwin himself strolls over and confirms the top-secret prophecy about the demon lord returning in 2 years. Right in front of everyone. Yumiella is mortified, and now, thanks to her level in magic, everyone's side-eyeing her as a candidate for demon lord. Trying to take control of the chaos, Yumiella flips the script. "Yes, I'm strong. Strong enough to be the demon lord. But I'm not." And instead of backing down, she offers a lesson in power grinding. Her strategy? Ditch protection charms, solo dungeons, call monsters with a flute, and go deep. The trio? Horrified. The other students? Equally shocked. She might as well have said, "Please die for XP." Yumiella sighs. Her masterclass clearly didn't land. Later, she starts tailing Alicia, suspicious of her strange behavior. Could she be a reincarnated player too? But all she sees is a sweet, friendly girl who just so happens to hang out with a trio of boys 24/7. Suspicious, but not conclusive. Meanwhile, the royal family installs a new school principal, Ronald. He smiles like a diplomat and immediately assigns Yumiella to help supervise field lessons. She won't participate. She's too overpowered, but she'll manage the regional noble team. On the battlefield, things are slow and overly cautious, until Yumiella, ever the efficiency queen, whips out a monster calling flute and unleashes chaos. Monsters swarm, students panic, but Yumiella quickly locks them down with Dark Bind, letting her classmates get real combat experience. One student, Patrick Ashbatten, keeps up surprisingly well. He even praises her tactics. It's the first time Yumiella connects with a classmate without awkwardness. When Yumiella heals him using grotesque dark magic, he's a little freaked out, but also thankful. And when he protects her from an attack, she actually blushes. "Thank you," she murmurs. It's a small moment, but a meaningful one. Then, with perfect deadpan timing, Yumiella says, "I'm going to use the monster calling flute again." "Wait, what? No more!" The students scream, but it's too late. "Dark bind," she chants again. Cue screaming. The day after the chaotic field lesson, Yumiella gets a warning from the principal, not about the danger, but for using the monster calling flute. Meanwhile, Patrick learns about dark magic's healing properties and is stunned when Yumiella casually admits she once regrew her arm after it was sliced off as a child, a little too casually. Back at the academy, Patrick's leadership in the field lesson earns him respect. Surprisingly, he keeps coming back to chat with Yumiella, who's not used to having anyone around. During a paired sword training session, he offers to partner with her. Despite joking about owing her for healing him, it's clear he genuinely enjoys her company. Yumiella admires Patrick's refined sword skills. Unlike her brute force style, when she accidentally injures him again, she panics and heals him. But Patrick reassures her, it's not just about magic. He respects how she embraces her identity without hiding her hair or powers, something he once struggled with as a kid because his hair looked too blackish. Her confidence leaves a lasting impression. Later, Yumiella wonders if the game's version of her character also had dark magic from the start, hidden away. Maybe the game got it wrong. After all, this world isn't the game. During the second field lesson, Yumiella promises not to use the flute again, but quickly gets bored. She floats the idea of lightly injuring students to make them more focused, but Patrick pleads for the safer option, the flute. Once again, Yumiella unleashes monsters, but Patrick expertly leads the students with synchronized tactics and buffed command. Yumiella is awed by his battlefield talent. Afterward, she tries to avoid him, worried she offended a Margrave's son by casually calling him Patrick. But he brushes it off with a smile, telling her to speak however she likes. Just when she's starting to feel comfortable, Alicia approaches and apologizes for assuming Yumiella was the demon lord. But Prince Edwin storms in, accusing Yumiella of endangering students. Patrick steps in, firmly defending her actions and declaring that her methods, while unorthodox, are effective and not against the rules. Yumiella is moved and a little flustered. As they walk back to class, he tells her to call him Patrick, and she does. For the first time, Yumiella smiles. During summer break, most students head home, but not Yumiella or Patrick. They stay behind, spar daily, and bond more over swordplay and strength control. Yumiella, determined to manage her overwhelming power, practices with a special slab designed for high-level warriors, which still cracks under her strength. Meanwhile, Patrick becomes a constant in her quiet life, sparring, studying, and even sharing pastries, though she gets scolded for casually inviting him to her room. At school, students warm up to Yumiella, asking for help with assignments, and even teasing her and Patrick like they're a duo, a beast tamer and his wild companion. She doesn't deny it. Surprisingly, Alicia approaches Yumiella for help with her light magic. Since even the teachers don't know how to train her rare element, she turns to Yumiella for guidance. Inspired by memories of her grandmother and the starry sky, Alicia begins to unlock her potential, and Yumiella, though flustered, agrees to continue helping her. Then, the martial arts competition is announced, and the prize is a dark magic amulet. Yumiella instantly signs up for both sword and magic categories, thrilled by the reward. Patrick suspects the principal set this up to parade her power in front of nobles. She doesn't care. She's all in. In the sword tournament, opponents forfeit left and right, except for William, who bravely fights in the final round with an endgame-level greatsword. Yumiella holds back just enough to keep the match dramatic. When her sword nearly breaks, she ends the duel with her signature move, the Yumiella punch. The crowd is stunned. Next is the magic portion. Alicia shines first with her beautiful Sun Rain spell, scoring 88 points. Edwin and Oswald follow with powerful, diverse magic. Oswald even scores a perfect 100, but Yumiella goes last. And when she unleashes Black Hole at full power, it nearly causes a typhoon. Terrified, the judges immediately grant her 300 points just to get her to stop. With both victories secured, Yumiella claims the amulet. But when Patrick questions whether she even needs it, her emotions flicker. Just as she considers proving her power to him right there, something strange starts happening. Winter arrives, and Yumiella's peaceful school life is shattered when Alicia's belongings go missing. Prince Edwin suspects her, but Patrick defends her character. Turns out the culprit is Eleonora's minion, who confesses in fear of Yumiella's reputation. To avoid unnecessary drama, Yumiella slyly manipulates Eleonora into stopping the bullying, pretending to support her pursuit of the prince while protecting Alicia behind the scenes. Yumiella reflects deeply. What if she'd been weaker, more obedient? Maybe she could have become the very villain the game portrayed. But here, she's strong enough to shape her own story and even show compassion. Suddenly, Eleonora becomes clingy, inviting Yumiella for tea every day. Yumiella tries and fails to make her hate her by insulting her cookies, only for Eleonora to thank her for the honesty. It becomes clear. Eleonora's just a spoiled girl surrounded by sycophants, not a mastermind. She admits she only bullied Alicia because her friends told her to. Yumiella, still cautious, warns her not to trust blindly. But Eleonora declares that Yumiella should become her new trusted friend. Absolutely not. Meanwhile, a year-end party is announced, and Alicia is expected to trigger the "Leave the Ball with Your True Love" event. Yumiella reluctantly agrees to go, purely to confirm if Alicia is still on Edwin's route. She gets roped into dress-up chaos, discovers her wardrobe is full of frilly toddler-sized dresses, and receives a last-minute gift from the Queen. Conveniently, it's a stunning dress. At the party, she watches Alicia and Edwin sneak off under the stars. Mission accomplished. But just as she's about to leave, Patrick finds her and asks her to dance. Though awkward at first, Yumiella slowly gets into it, even enjoying herself. When Patrick compliments her beauty, she panics internally, but tries to stay cool. He moves to hold her hand, but she awkwardly wipes her palm, flustering them both. Trying to recover, he says he finally realized something, but is cut off by another boy asking Yumiella to dance. She shuts him down hard. "I'm only into people stronger than me." The poor guy retreats defeated, while Patrick processes her words in stunned silence. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the story so far and want to see what happens next in part 2, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it.